Yeah, good day guys, how you going? Hope you're having a good one. Now, back there, going that way, is where New Sukhothai town is. And it's largely where I've stayed in my time in Sukhothai. Largely because, I mean, there isn't much there, it's mostly just places to eat and do your laundry and a temple here and there. I've had a good time. However, most people come to Sukhothai to go to New Sukhothai, which will be more in that direction. Hey doggy. However, as you can see, the two towns are connected by a highway. And there's several major intersections that cut through it as well. Now, I've never really bothered to explore this part of sort of New Sukhothai, or I guess you could say Middle Sukhothai, because it's sort of in the middle between New and Old Sukhothai. But I'm gonna see if I can walk all the way to Old Sukhothai from New Sukhothai. Because one of the first things I was told when I arrived in Sukhothai is how to get out of New Sukhothai and get to the old one, because that's where everybody goes to see. But the methods were either a tuk-tuk or a taxi. I mean, I rented a scooter. I much prefer riding. This road that cuts through it is the main reason I never actually continue going down this way, because not even a path along the corner here. Yeah, so just cross that. That was sketchy as hell. Pretty sure they don't expect you to actually cross there, but that means new area unlocked. So apparently there's no real path going down that highway, footpath I mean. There is supposedly another road that goes down here. I got like my chances of surviving off the main road a little bit. We'll see though. It's very clear to me this was not intended for walking audiences. Alright, luckily there's a road that pretty much runs parallel with the highway. However, hopefully people will drive a little slower because this is off the main road. I'm not holding my breath on that. The reason I was going to go straight down that highway, well, I mean, two reasons actually. Google Maps said there's a footpath, or said I could walk on there. I imagine you can, you just don't get hit. However, there's also a really well, like over 1,000 reviews on Google Maps, a noodle shop that I want to go and visit. 1,000 reviews in Sukhothai is actually kind of insane. That's so strange. I'm still on the back roads, and it clearly looks to me like there was some sort of a tourist route going through here at some point. Maybe domestic tourism routes, because it's all in Thai. Barbed wire on one side, and beautifully kept trees on the other. Ordered some lemon tea and oh, I don't know what I was expecting, but That's different. Some pork skewers and Sukhothai traditional noodles with lots of crushed peanuts and thinly sliced. I forget what those things are. This should get me going for the day. Oh man, that was amazing. I gotta say, not enough peanuts for my liking of Sukhothai noodles, personally. But that lemon tea was something else too. And they made up for the peanuts by having so much in the sauce for the skewers. Also, from about that shop, My Chai Noodles, footpath starts again. So we'll see how long it goes on the highway. It's interesting. I say highway, I don't know if it's like a highway. There's no on-ramp, off-ramp. Obviously people live and work like right off of it. Man, the shop selling khao man gai, chicken on rice. Fucking love khao man gai. I'm stuffed. How much of that is the effects of the... Was this region impacted by the recent Southeast Asian floods? I'm not sure. Oh man, that's some serious soil erosion right there. Only took a brief shot of it, but did you see the rake angle on that tuk-tuk? It's like pretty much vertical. Like, so 0 degrees of rake. How's it balanced? I guess it doesn't need to balance, but man, that's wild. Just a big open pit with grates large enough for anybody to fit in. Footpath seems to end again after the bridge. Oh boy. Sukhothai School of Dramatic Arts. That's cool. Assuming it's a university. I don't know what a university campus looks like in Thailand. Alright, still no footpaths though. It's only getting sketchier by the day. It is meant to be walked on because there's an overhead pass up ahead. So if there's no foot traffic, why would there be an overhead pass? Well, there has to be some foot traffic because this little patch of dirt next to the highway, it's got foot marks in it, shoe prints, even though there's no sign of an actual walkway on both sides. I'm assuming it's probably just from the kids. There's like schools, 3 schools in a row right next to me. I can't even, as much as I want to get off this highway, I can't even go into the adjoining road because there's not really one that's, you know, close enough to be reasonable detour. I'm gonna be honest, I've been curious about those chickens for a while. Also, there's a temple here on the side of the road. Might just pop in and have a bit of a rest. They usually don't mind. Just get away from the road noise as well. that just me, or is my camera on an angle? I just realized that that's also on top of water. I was flexing quite a lot when I was standing on it. Maybe I should not before I stand on things. Well, it's a pretty nice temple actually. Nothing too grandiose, but clearly people here meeting friends, lots of dogs. Okay, I think I can get off the highway here. Maybe take the more, less dangerous route. It's right next to the temple, and I'm pretty sure there's a road that runs sort of along with the highway. So we'll give it a go. If not, I can always backtrack. Can't say the back roads look entirely too inviting. I imagine that this sort of hut that was built along the stream between New and Old Sukhothai is where a lot of people settled after the old capital was abandoned. And I would picture a lot of these homes are multi-generational. And that's one hell of a little bamboo grove. It's on like its own island in the middle of the river. I wonder what's going on over there. Never seen so many of those reverse tuk-tuks and tuk-tuks in one place. I imagine a really nice place to eat. I think I even see foreigners there. I wonder how many hours a day this thing gives shit to this bench. I assume it was made for a very specific time period that a person likes to go sit there every day. That's awesome. We just here in truly bumfuck nowhere if people are leaving their bike parked on the street with the key in the ignition. That lemon tea's been holding me over, but actually I haven't had any drink today other than that, like no water. There was actually a 7-Eleven on the way to my breakfast spot. However, I had to kind of go around it because it was on the highway. So I really need to go somewhere that I can buy some water at. Now, if I remember correctly, there was a big sign that said C on it. Usually big C means something else in New Zealand, but pretty sure that's a supermarket here. So I'm hoping that I've come far enough along on the highway, or along the highway, that I can arguably maybe zip over back to the other side and see if I'm anywhere close to it, because yeah, I need to get some water in me, well, some more water in me, probably some electrolytes too. Back out onto the motorway. It's the motorway there. Let's see if my guess is right. Moment of truth. Oh, hey, big sea. That's the biggest sea I've ever seen. Unfortunately, it's fucking across the road. Which apparently is not a big problem because those guys just crossed it. So maybe I'll do that too. Oh, hold on. There's a 7-Eleven there as well. I'm kind of curious about Big C. Alright, here we go. Oh, alright. To be honest, that wasn't so bad. There are shops here before you go in. It's a super center. Okay. Oh, it's like a hack and save and a mall in one. There's like Big C and a bunch of other different shops. It's actually kind of wild here. There's clothing, liquor, a whole aisle for tissues and toilet paper, confectionery, electronics, ceramics. There's everything here. This is fascinating. You know, for whatever reason, I never clicked to me that I hadn't seen a big shopping center in Sukhothai, but people live here. People need somewhere to go and buy stuff in bulk. Good thing I made a quick stop in there because there's a really clean toilet. There's something to be said about malls in Thailand. That's one of the big reasons I stop at these things, or in Southeast Asia in general. I've noticed that there's actually these bus stops that kind of run along the entire length of the motorway, but I don't believe that these run anymore, unfortunately. But anyway, that was a cool stop. There was a camera shop that had more stuff than most flagship camera stores in New Zealand. That Circle C, Big C had literally everything in it. Bunch of different stores. Weirdly enough, the bloody food stores and the food court wasn't that much more expensive than just buying off the street. So, but then I still have to come to 7-Eleven to grab a drink. And that Big C was more for clothes and bulk buy. Alright, grabbed an energy drink, some water, some electrolytes. And I'm only about a third of the way there, which is a bit concerning. I think the wise thing to do, because it's about 11ish, the sun's only going to get hotter, is for me to get off this main road again. Is that a cow? There's a cow. There's a cow. Is it a real cow? It hasn't moved. Guys, it's a real cow. Oh my god, it moves. It's a real cow. I don't know. Is it a cow? That's wild. It's just like in a field, middle of all these houses, there's just a cow. Of course there is. It's not even midday yet. I've already clocked 9,000 steps. I don't think I'm halfway either. But it's kind of interesting. Everybody kind of stares at me because they can tell I'm not from around here. Not the ones who aren't sleeping in a hammock anyway. I just had a few old women try to say something to me. They're having a good laugh about it. I don't know what they were saying. I think they really thought I was Thai. And I said, my cow chai cup, which means I don't understand. Basically saying like I don't speak Thai. They had a really good laugh. I don't know if you can see it, but there's yellow smoke coming off of that pile of, doesn't look like leaves, but man, quite a few of those burnings going on. But the smoke coming off them is not a color I would like to breathe in. So you probably shouldn't be breathing in anything with color, to be honest. Oh, look at that. It's a temple. I like temples. I think you can just access it from, this must be the back entrance right here. Let's give that a go. Oh, look, there's that tuk-tuk tour across the bridge. There must be a wood mill across the river there. That's cool. Sounds like a lot of like restoration and stuff going on. Actually, oh yeah, okay, I've stopped at this one before. At night there's a market here. I've stopped here on a bike before. I guess the real question is, do I go back onto the motorway or keep going down the back street? I reckon I'm feeling like Backstreet Boys today. I don't see a sidewalk on the highway still, so maybe I'll just keep going down the back street for now. Not sure what the announcement's about, but man, does that travel far. That's from the temple. I can hear it echoing off far from the distance. It's not like I'm in a valley, it's easy to echo. I'm curious as to why, like, the default, what do you call it, fencing material appears to be barbed wire. I've decided to come one street over, even further away from the highway, and then doing some construction. Because I don't know, maybe it will be a little bit of change of scenery. So plenty of river. I could walk along the other side of the river. Why not? Let's see what there is to see here on this side anyway. Looks like rice fields. I'm actually not sure what that plant is, but giant fields. It's same but different, you know? Guys, made a grave mistake. Why am I so dumb sometimes? You know how the sun and the shadow works? You know, opaque objects cast shadows when there's a light source behind them, all that good stuff. Yeah, well, if all the opaque objects are on the other side of the bloody friggin' river, there ain't no shadows on this side of the river. Because walking along a riverbank, there's not much trees and stuff here. Then I could cross over back. It's coming from a man who one of his bucket list items is to cross the goddamn Sahara Desert and Samson's Desert on a motorcycle. And there's no bridge in sight, unless you count this little dam. I don't really want to fall in the river. God knows what kind of things lie underneath the murky waters. Hopefully there's a bridge coming up soon before I melt. There's a footpath here that goes into sort of that forest. I wonder where that leads. Maybe to a little shack. Who knows? Still burning. Very, very, very hot. But change of scenery is nice. I wouldn't have seen these fields if I had stayed on the other side. Oh my god. Oh my god. Thank god there's a bridge. I don't know why, but apparently the last bridge I crossed, before that, there was a bridge every 20 meters. And between this one and that one, there's one every 500 meters. What's wrong with that? See, I should be like that guy. Portable shade. He's got life figured out. Oh wait, this is portable shade. Shit, do I also have life figured out? Oh, shade. Shade. Let's make way for these guys. I don't know if you noticed, but he's just sitting on the handlebar of that trailer. There's no actual, like, mechanical connection. I don't know if you can make it out, but it looks like the road actually ends up there. I should have to turn back because there was a road heading back out onto the highway just past the bridge, or like at the bridge actually. Even though I've just got into the shady side, I'm gonna go back out onto the highway because I'm hungry. It's about noon and I need to get some food in me, I reckon. Alright, back out into the frying pan. Kind of regretting my decision already. I'm starting to doubt my decision-making skills, my decision-making abilities. Anyway, it's actually a bit early in the day for most roadside stores to be open. A lot of them open about sort of actually going home time, you know, like end of workday time-ish. That place was open, but it was full, like full. Not a single seat left. Starting to see signs that point to Sukhothai Historical Park, which is Old Town. There's a temple here that's either under construction or reconstruction, but she's just gonna find a little shady spot, chill for a couple of minutes. I'm gonna try the back roads again. The highway is just too hot. Crossroads. That looks like just going to a different part of the temple. And there's a signage here that points to Wat Chonglom. I know that Wat Chonglom is not too far from sort of the outskirts of old Sukhothai. So I guess I'm going that way. What no? Huh. Apparently I should have been walking down this road. It's also a cycling road. Interesting. Sukhothai Historical Park. 6.3 kilometers. Boy. I think that means I'm about halfway there. Halfway. Just had another old person try and strike up a convo with me. I know they're just doing that, just probably out of curiosity why some random dudes walking around their neighborhood. They don't speak any English. I speak enough Thai to tell them I don't understand them. So hopefully he wasn't telling me like, hey, be warned, there's like a serial killer up ahead or something. Oh boy. This seems like a busy road, at least a wide one. I think I gotta cross here somehow. Actually, it's not so bad. There's nothing coming this way. Oh, there's that one car that's very far off. There's no cars this way. Oh, that's the highway I was following. Oh yeah, I remember that roundabout. Okay. And if I continue down this way, it should be alright. Though my hunger levels are getting pretty bad. I'm afraid that this is a very, very residential part of Middle Sukhothai. A lot of them dogs. Getting kind of dehydrated as well. I've got about a quarter of a liter left of water. It's not looking good. It's not looking good. There's still quite a bit to go. I think I just gotta shut up and nut up for a little bit until I find a road that connects me back to the main road. So I assume most places are on the main road. Okay. There's, I don't know why, but this is so much more tiring than some of the other walks I've done. There's the asphalt, all the heat coming off it, I think. I'm not that far from Wat Chonglom, as well as as well as another way to get off of the side road. I miss when there used to be 7-Elevens every 5 meters. You know, back in Bangkok, at least you could go in those and just cool down a degree or two before heading back out. That's brutal. Probably can't see, but right there, there's some stone pillars. That has to be Wat Chonglom. Surely, that has to be Wat Chonglom. Old, broken down buildings like this, that means I'm getting closer to the historical park. Oh look, Sukhothai Historical Park. 4.4 clicks. That means I've only done 2 kilometers since the last one. Holy hell. I feel like I've been walking for 5 hours since the last one. Okay. Interestingly, more cows. Are they buffaloes? I'm actually not sure. Also, this is clearly an electrical fence right there. I don't know if you can hear that. There's an electrical spark jumping between the 2 wires in the fence. That's sure to start fires at some point. Anyway, yeah, those stone pillars are looking more and more like a heritage site to me. There's barely anyone here. There's one lady here on a bicycle taking a rest behind me. This is quite far removed from the main city center temples, but that chetty, surrounded by actually relatively intact elephant sculptures. Please do not approach the stupa. Okay, I won't go any further than this, but look at that elephant, eh? I think that might be the most intact one I've seen. I don't know if that's restoration work or just a really lucky one. I'm assuming it's the former. It's interesting to see how like these old style temples compare to some of the modern ones we passed by. There's gonna be one more over there. I'm gonna go to those ruins, but there's a bunch of stokes there and also a dog sleeping on the bridge. I'm just gonna leave them alone, let them have their time. I'm sure I'll be alright walking over, but I don't want to disturb them. Take a look at how nature is trying to reclaim it. It's incredible how it can find home anywhere. That's probably after some efforts in the when this whole area became a UNESCO heritage site. There was some efforts to clean it all up and get rid of the vines and the like. Alright, back on my feet. That's some fancy ass looking lodge. I mean, maybe one day I can afford to stay at a place like this. Oh, like that. So I can, you know, keep staying at cheap places and save more money, to be honest. I realized, I actually read the description at the what, is that this is not part of the same river that I've been following, or it might be now, but this is a hand dog moat. According to this map, you know, I'm staying sort of right there, not too far from the bus terminal, so I could have actually followed the back roads the entire way. I don't realize this is the major road that we just crossed. This Cham Lom right there. I think I'm still gonna exit the road on the as soon as I can, because I do really need food. Got a headache coming on, and that's what that usually means. Oh God. Also, the river I've been following is on the other side of the road, so you know they do not connect. It's a bridge I hear cars. Let's head over and see if there's food on the road. Hey, look what I found. Sidewalks. Incredible. I think we're nearly at Sukhothai proper. Which means there's going to be a lot more food options. There's two places I saw that were open, but one I didn't want to eat in, and the other one only served noodles, and I want something. Oh, I already had noodles, but who knows, maybe I'll end up having noodles again. I spoke too soon. The sidewalks end here again. There's like 20 meters of sidewalks. Okay. Hey, at least there's other people walking, so I don't look like just a crazy dude. Well, I believe that confirms it. This is Sukhothai Old Town. This earthwork to the right of me is actually part of the old wall, I believe. Or like this is where the old wall would have been. There was 3 layers of walls in Sukhothai ancient city. And these 2 earthworks would have been one of them, I think. Never claimed to be a historian, you know. Yeah, I believe this is the innermost wall, or you know, what's kind of standing of it. Which means I am now in Sukhothai Old Town proper. Still need food though. Gee. This is a good place to end the video. To the front of me is the semi-traditional market, and behind me is a lake that also has the temple, the central temple to Sukhothai in it. So in a way, 2 different centers of Sukhothai, spiritual and livelihood. Got myself some rice rolls, as well as what appears to be an entire chicken leg on a stick. This should prove to be quite interesting. But can you walk from New Sukhothai to Old Sukhothai? Absolutely, you can. Should you? I don't think you should. But I had a good fun. Probably saw lots of things that I would have never seen otherwise. Parts of Sukhothai that most people who visit here would probably never see actually. Though I feel like hopefully the video didn't just turn out to be me bitching about the heat the whole time. So it wasn't as bad as Indonesia in my opinion. But I hope you had fun. I hope you had fun following me along. I'm gonna dig in. You guys have a good day. Hope you take care of yourselves. Cheers. There's the guard post, the city wall. There's the outside city wall, and a moat right there, and an earthen structure, another city wall essentially. 3 city walls and 3 moats, all dug by hand.